Yo,
We are Brooke and Sid.
and we're talking BS.
Belief systems, of course. Thoughts create our realities, and we are passionate about creating better thoughts.
Join us as we figure out life from the inside out. Figure out what's holding you back and how to get out of your own way. Come join us as we talk BS. Yo,
Oh my gosh, hi everyone.
welcome to Talking BS.
Hello.
This is our first episode.
Yes, our
Episode
first
1.
ever recording of what I think will be an unreal project.
Yes, life-changing for us.
I think so, for people listening to.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
Life-changing.
big, we are big fans of ourselves.
Yeah,
we
huge.
have to
We
put
are.
that out in the open. We are our number one fans.
Obsessed.
But yeah, so a little bit of, we just want to touch on what's happened this morning and why we have this microphone if you're watching on YouTube.
Yep.
And not our two microphones that we originally ordered. The universe did some fascinating things.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it just decided that the mics didn't want to work.
Both. None.
Both of them.
Yep. In
On
3 different computers.
But that's okay. That's right. We made it work, and we're
We
here
did.
for you. We want to get this out into the
Yes.
world, and whatever way that comes, I think
Absolutely.
we go with the flow.
It's the message, not how it's delivered. So, like,
Correct.
yeah.
Correct. But we do have mics here, and just bear with us for this first episode while
Yes.
we find our feet and get this microphone situation working. But yeah, oh my god, we're so excited to be here. We are so excited to share everything that we speak about on the regular.
Yep.
You know, we have the most epic conversations, and the belief systems that we both have are pretty similar, right? We have completely different backgrounds. Oh, I'm Brooke.
I'm Sid.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, this is us.
Hi, this is us. This is Brooke and Sid.
Yes.
Completely different backgrounds.
Oh,
Do you want to tell them where you came from?
yeah. So I moved around a little bit. I was born in Billow. If you don't know where Billow is, it's central Queensland. Yeah, Billowilla. Haven't you been there?
No, I've been out that way,
Oh, yeah, right.
but not there.
Born in Billow, lived there till I was 7. Then moved to Cairns, lived there till I was 15. Then moved to Rocky, lived there till I was 21. Went YOLO, I'm going to move to the Gold Coast and become a dancer. Because before I moved, I was actually working at a car dealership for about 2 years. And I was like, actually, I hate this. This is not fun. This 9 to 5 is not for me. I don't know what is yet. And then all of a sudden, right, so get this. I'm totally a believer in you're meant to be exactly where you're meant to be. You will be.
You are exactly where you're meant to be.
Ha ha ha.
That one.
One thing about Sid and I is that Sid always finishes my conversations
I get
and
it.
sentences how they're supposed to be finished. But yeah, so I was just scrolling on Facebook one day. You know our friend Hayla Coots?
Yes.
She posted, and I only knew her because we used to live in Cairns together. And I knew her through a mutual friend. So she posted about the full-time course, and I was like, wow, I didn't even know that existed. I'd never danced before.
Yep.
I'm here sitting 21 at my desk in this job that I didn't like, and I was like, well, that'd be fun. YOLO. Messaged him. He's like, send me through this audition tape. I did. I deleted it, which I regret. Because I looked at it one day when I was back in full-time, and I was like, you suck.
You have to start somewhere though.
I know, and that's why I regret deleting the actual video of my audition tape. But anyway, so then I moved to the Gold Coast and I became a dancer. I did 2 years of full-time, and then I found other jobs. Like I worked at an electrical company, and I still work there today, just a lot less and a lot more remote. And I teach dancing, and I have this podcast, and I have my own YouTube channel, and I do accounts for my dance agency, and the list still goes on, but I just can't remember off the top of my head. But this is how we got here today.
Yeah. And did you, 5 years ago, did you ever think you'd be...
Hell no.
Well, how long ago? Was that 5 years ago? No,
No, I started dancing in 2015.
7.
7, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I honestly started this dance course not knowing where life would take me, not even having a plan. I've always been a go with the flow kind of girl, always. And it's
Yeah.
worked out for me so well. So I mean, join the club, everyone. It's really fun.
Go with that flow.
Yeah, it's
Honestly.
risky. It's risky.
Yeah,
but it's
it is.
fun.
But
You're the opposite,
you gotta risk it for the biscuit.
100.
Yeah.
But you're the opposite.
I am. In a way, I was born in India, moved to Australia when I was 8, and then moving here, it was just the same kind of narrative that I grew up with. You know, go to school, get good grades, get to university, get a good course, get a job. That was the definition of success. So I
Yeah.
was schooled in Melbourne, and then I went on to do law and become a corporate lawyer. And the whole time I was doing that thing, I loved dancing. Like I've been dancing since before I could walk. So
Vibes.
movement has been everything to me. Like as far as I can remember, weekends we always had like either Beatles, Michael Jackson, or like Queen or ABBA playing in the house, like non-stop. It was like cleaning music, house music. That's how my weekends were. So I was always around music. And so growing up as a kid with that and Bollywood influences, like everything is dance in Bollywood. So grew up doing Bollywood dancing and then discovered hip hop and never would have thought that combination of finding hip hop would have suddenly become like the major part of my life.
Yeah.
So I started there and then found my way into the world of entertainment, really. And the thing that kind of opened my eyes was I was doing a lot of hip hop dancing while I was at university. So I was part of a hip hop crew.
Were you part-time at uni?
No, full-time uni.
Full-time 8 years.
8 years. Or part-time for most, full-time for most of that. But
Yeah,
then
right.
I got cast in a Bollywood film. So I had to, it was Bollywood. It was a big deal in India
You were a
for like a
sensation.
hot second. I was a sensation yeah, for a hot second. I was, yeah, super famous with 1 billion people.
Fun.
Yeah, so fun. But then I was doing that kind of stuff, and while I was doing law, I realized that one was really making me happy, and the other one was I was just doing it because the world told me to do it. And then I was about to land my dream legal job, and the same week I was about to land that dream legal job after working. I'd done corporate for a bit. After doing that, I got a contract for a cruise ship the same week. Go figure.
Yeah, not for law.
Not for long.
No.
No. Well, I got both. So I got the law
Yeah,
contract
true.
and that contract, and then I had to make a choice.
Yeah.
I had to choose happiness. Right.
Oh my gosh, so choosing happiness, right?
Foreshadowing.
Yes, we have a lot to say about happiness in general, and we both believe that happiness is a choice. We're going to dive deeper into this into our next couple of episodes, but if you're sitting at home and you think that, you know, you don't deserve happiness, or you think that you can't have happiness, think again. Listen to what we have to say, because I think we can influence a lot of people.
Yeah.
I influence myself.
Yeah. And I feel like I sometimes have to reflect on the path I've taken
Oh, yeah.
to remind myself what I'm capable of.
We're pretty cool.
Yeah.
We're cool.
Yeah. Like we're obsessed with ourselves. You know what I mean?
But like, I reckon we're, I don't know.
In a good way.
Yeah. In
Yeah.
a healthy way.
Healthy, for sure. For sure. I think we back ourselves
Yeah, we do.
because of what we've done.
Yeah, and you know what? I said to Sid the other day, me and you became friends just through conversations like this.
Yes.
And I was going to say, I have a lot of friends. Okay, I don't have that many. But like the people I talk to don't get on the level that we get to.
Agreed. Same.
Like
there's
the
not a lot of people
deepness.
that
Whoi!
No. Yeah. Every conversation though.
It can start off like, hey, how's your day? Well,
Neck
guess
minute.
what the purpose of life is?
Boom. And we're unraveling
But
the
and I'm
universe.
here like,
Tell me it all. Yep.
we love it.
We absolutely love it. And so I just think it's so, super exciting. And that's actually kind of what inspired us to start this. Because
Yes.
I feel like we have these epic conversations and we
Yeah.
just wanted to almost, one, record it for ourselves. So we had, you know, we can look back and reflect, but also just share it with the world. Because
Yeah.
if there's one person out there,
That's it.
just one that can, you know, flip a switch in their head, start to question their own BS and, you know, change their lives.
Yeah. Do you know
It's
what? I think you and I are pretty lucky in the sense that we kind of did it for ourselves.
Yes.
Like there's not a lot of content, or even in schools and stuff, you don't get taught how to be happy. You get taught what to do to feel happiness, but you don't get taught how to make yourself happy.
Oh, totally. Like that was in my narrative. It was just the, you know, do these things, get the good grades.
Yeah.
And then you'll get, and it was just like the story I was told was if you just do the thing, the next thing will happen.
Yeah, it's
So-
a step-by-step process.
Yeah. And
Apparently.
Yeah, exactly. And so no one actually told me how to feel through that journey.
No.
And it was only when I got out the other end that I did all the things.
Yeah.
And I still felt like I didn't feel content.
No. And that's why people do what they do. It's why people seek to go on adventures or to do different businesses or like anything, any opportunity you possibly take. At the end of the day, it's to feel happiness and contentment. That's
Yeah.
why you do everything you do. Because that's what
Absolutely.
you want to feel. But you can feel it right now.
Yeah. In any instant.
Yeah, you're chasing it so bad, but really it's always within you.
And I think the more we chase it, and this is something that I was finding, is if we chase it or if we seek happiness, in that paradigm, happiness is outside you.
Yes.
And if that's how you see it, it'll always be outside
Correct.
you. It's like a carrot that dangles in front of you.
Yes.
And you're going to keep chasing it
Yeah.
without actually having it.
Yeah, we're 10 minutes into this podcast and we've delved. and you've come along. Welcome.
Welcome.
Join the ride. It's a roller coaster.
Welcome to Talking BS. Well, look, let's start. So talking, you've probably already got a gist of this. What is BS? Why are we talking BS?
Bullshit. Belief systems.
Belief systems.
Is what, and Brooke and Sid.
And Brooke and Sid.
Yeah. So it's a little play on words there, everyone. Belief systems. It's like what do you believe, basically?
Yeah,
Right.
it is, and it's that belief creates your whole reality. We see the world through whatever lens we choose to wear.
Which is do the things
Yeah.
and get happiness. Wrong. We're here to change that. Because I don't think it works that way. From speaking
Pay
from
attention.
personal experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And what from our experience, what I think we've seen is that it doesn't take a lot to change the belief system. So,
No.
I mean, the effort it takes, like the work it'll take to do that, is immense and can be
Yes.
can be immense. But the time it takes to do that, you can do it. Like
It takes one thing.
one thing, one thought.
It takes a want.
Mm.
You just have to want to be happy enough that you seek how to do it.
Yep.
And we're here to be your guides.
Absolutely. And this journey is a journey of discovery for us as well, because
Yes.
I am a forever student. I think you are
Yes,
too.
100%.
And so in this growth that we are experiencing, I think this podcast is also about us sharing that growth with you and sharing the learnings with you as we're learning it.
Yeah. We don't think we're experts. Experts.
Experts.
Exhibit A. No, we don't think we're professionals at all. We've actually hadn't done a course to do any type of spiritual diving or, meditation or anything. We just are speaking from life experience, and we think that it resonates with both of us.
Yeah.
When we talk to each other, we listen
Yeah.
and intently, and I think you have so much to give the world. I'm
Okay.
such a big fan of you.
Oh, I'm a big fan of
Do
you.
you know what? So many people in my circle when I started this podcast, I was like, what do you reckon? Like, are you excited to listen? They're like, oh my God, yeah, it's going to be so good. Because Sid's in it. And I'm like, oh, yes, yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, he is. Yeah, but
Yeah.
like same.
So I like what, yeah.
Yeah, and
Brooke and Sid.
yeah, like my name's Beth.
Yeah.
And then
B.
someone else was like, oh my God, are you doing a podcast with him? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, he's so cool.
Oh, thanks.
And I'm like, thank
Can you introduce me to these people?
Literally. It's literally anyone that knows me, apparently.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, but I think, I'm a really big fan of you, and I love what you have to say. And I think you and I say a lot of the same things in different ways.
Absolutely.
And what you say
I love that.
resonates with me.
Yeah.
And I feel like what I say resonates with you,
And
just
what-
in different ways.
And what I love is we've had such vastly different life experiences, like so different. So to have gone from I don't know, I was a kid in primary school. Like when I was 7, I was in a class in India of 72 children. Like that was my reality,
Yeah.
and we would get ranked. So that's the reality I grew up with as a kid. You got your report card at the end of the year, and your report card on the top of it had a number from 1 to 72. So you knew how you stood in that class and how smart, and it was all academic, so how smart or dumb you were compared to everyone else in that room.
Talk about savage.
Savage.
Does that still happen today?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
Yep. And just to have like that background, and when you were 7, what were you doing?
Oh, mate. I was in Billow, running around. I was actually used to catch slugs at my granddad's. I used to flip some logs and, Mum, look at this legless lizard! And I was just walking around with slimy things and like animals and critters, and I was just running around barefoot in the paddock, just dodging the bindies.
We are not the same.
Right?
But we are. That's what's bizarre. Do you know,
How did we get here?
How did we get
Like,
here?
Mate, I don't know. It's hilarious when you actually think about it like that.
Yeah, totally.
Like, we didn't even know each other
No.
back then. You were on the different side of
I was
the
on a
world.
different side of the world. Absolutely. At that point, I didn't even know I was going to move to Australia. Like that wasn't
Yeah.
even a part of the plan. And then to have, and I think through our podcast journey, we'll kind of dissect
Yes.
those journeys because I think there were so many learnings along the way
Yeah.
that brought us to where we are now and like allow us to think
Yeah.
the way we do.
Absolutely. And I feel like, we've both experienced trauma. Not to the same extent, but I mean, trauma is trauma. And
Yeah.
we want to touch on, what we've been through and how we've come out the other side, because I feel like trauma is so easy to hang on to and to like cling on to those negative feelings, those sad feelings. That's how people get depressed, is they get addicted to those chemicals that your brain produces when you're experiencing trauma. And happiness is a choice, yes, but it's a friggin' hard one.
It is, and I think that's what this podcast or these conversations are about.
Yeah.
It's about what the work is to get you to be able to make that choice.
Yes, absolutely. And it may look different for everyone, which kind of the diversity of Sid and I helps with that. Because,
it doesn't matter where you are or where you've come from or what that path is, you hit that decision point.
Yeah.
And that could be at any point in your life. Mm-hmm. And then if you apply the same thinking, you can make that choice.
Yeah, exactly. Like one example is I was just sitting at my desk one day at my old house, and like I was fine. I think this might have been after my dog had passed away, maybe it was before, I don't know. But I was sitting there, I'm like, I'm just not that happy. And then that led me to find Joe Dispenza's book. Oh my God, if you don't know who Joe Dispenza is...
He'll change your life.
Oh, he's unreal.
Yeah.
He's like a spiritual guide.
Yeah.
/ a legend.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I also feel like sometimes you need to hear the right message from the right messenger.
Yes, correct.
Because it could come to you from 7 different places, but then until you're ready...
You are your own messenger. True. I found that book.
Yeah, true.
I picked up that book. I made the choice to get that book.
Yeah.
That messenger, those pages that I read were because I put it in front of me. It didn't just fall into my lap. No. I sought the book. I sought the answers and I got them.
Yeah.
And this might be why you're listening to this podcast.
Yep.
We might be the answers for someone. Oh my God.
Yep. And I think if you're looking, that's the first step.
Yes.
I think the first step for anything is awareness. And if you're aware that you want to change something, then you start looking for those answers. And I think that was pivotal for even changing my BS. Yeah. Was hitting a point, like you said, when you're like, I know I'm not happy.
Yeah.
Being aware of the contrast, and being aware of, I don't want to be like this, and then seeking the answers. And so many people aren't at that point yet, and you may not be at that point yet.
Yeah. Which is great for you. Love that you're happy already.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Or you may be unhappy, but if you're consumed by that as your comfort zone, and if that's just your state of being in, and I know it seems silly to think that people can be comfortable being unhappy.
But it's normal.
Yep.
It's normalized nowadays. Like, oh, you're depressed, here's some pills. We've made pills to fix your depression.
Yep. And then that gives you that's your crutch. That's how you define yourself. Yeah. And suddenly you're like, oh well, no, this is just how things are because I am this way. We're going to dive deep into
Oh mate, we have some things to cover.
I am, and the power of those two words.
Oh. But I also, it's like if I look at, I'm a visual girl, okay? Like I like to bring things and pictures into scenarios that I'm trying to explain. Imagine you're like a little ferret or like a little guinea pig on a spinning wheel. And you're just consumed. You're like, oh my God, this is so hard. What the hell? Like, what happens if you step off? Yeah. But people don't
see that as an option.
But that push, and they don't see it as an option because they're not taught that it is.
Yeah.
They're taught, do the things, be happy. But what if it's the other way around?
Yep.
Be happy and do the things.
I know a lot of this stuff is like, these are words that you've probably heard before or you may have seen before. I want to be super clear that this podcast for us is not fluffy.
No.
It's not like, there's going to be a lot of like woo-woo talk, but it's not rhetoric. No. This is stuff that we've put into play, and I kind of want to, as we get deeper into it, explain how it's, how we've actually used that in our lives and the difference it's made.
Like, I think you and I are two of the happiest people. Sid, seriously, the last...
Stoked. Mic problems and all. I'm so happy to be here.
We had the gigs, the major giggles before we started, even though nothing was working for us.
Nothing. How fascinating.
Yes, okay, let's leave them, if we leave them with anything today, let us leave you with this.
Okay.
If anything happens in your life, start using the phrase, instead of, oh my God, why did this happen? Why am I stuck in traffic? Why? Try using the phrase, how fascinating.
How fascinating.
You taught me that.
How fascinating. My dad taught me that. And so his thing was, and this was so good to like, if you're anxious, if you're stressed, all of those emotions come from us putting a bias on a situation.
Correct.
We assign or attribute a situation as good or bad. The second you go, how fascinating, you replace that emotion with curiosity. And curiosity allows you to be open to explore possibilities of how that situation can be handled differently. But if you crash your car and you're like, ah, damn it, like that can ruin your day, right? And that can start a downward spiral.
Life doesn't happen to you. Life happens for you. Sit with that for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so by stepping into that realm of curiosity, it allows you to be open to the possibility of seeing why something happened for you.
And it's almost like someone might look at you and think, wow, she's having a mentee B. Like she's just crashed her car and she's sitting there like, ah, ha, ha, ha. But wouldn't you rather feel happiness in any given time?
And you can.
Yeah, you can. That's the thing, is that you can.
You can.
Something doesn't have to happen to you to change your emotions. You change your emotions first and then watch what follows. Speaking of, the law of attraction.
Yes.
It's as real as the law of gravity. It's literally a law.
Heavy.
Like, it's real.
Totally.
And we can't wait to talk more on that.
Yep.
Because that in itself is like mind-blowing.
Understanding how it already applies to your life, because it being like the law of gravity applies to everyone's life.
Yeah.
But
all of the time.
All the time. Good, bad, or ugly.
Yeah.
That's just how the universe works.
Yeah.
And then once you, again, awareness, once you're aware of the impact that has on your life, then you can start to make choices of how you can, play with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But like in everyone's life, everyone has what we like to call BS.
BS.
And that might look different for everyone.
Yeah. I think the purpose is to start questioning what your BS is. Ask yourself that question. If you can write it down, what are like 3 things that you think are absolute truths? They could be anything. Like, if a BS could be like, if I work harder, I'll make more money. BS. It's just a belief system. There are some people that are working far less hard, making a lot more money. So if you can put these things down, that starts to raise the awareness. And then if you're aware of what your own BSs are, there'll be some that serve you. Some BSs are great.
Yeah.
And there'll be some that don't serve you.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, why am I thinking that if that doesn't help?
Yeah.
It's something you could have. You'd be like, I'm not pretty enough. I'm not tall enough to be a dancer. I'm not, especially in this world of entertainment where there's a certain mold that has to fit, or in any realm, if there's a certain mold that you think has to fit, that's a BS.
Yeah.
And if you can question that, or be aware of it, question it, and then you can start to change it, then everything changes.
Yeah. One BS I think applies to a lot of people is once I get this ... I will be happy.
Then I'll have that.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah. Which is one that we want to start off by changing.
Absolutely. And this comes back, it's so fundamental and it's a story that, if I do this thing, then I will have that thing, and then I will be X.
Yeah.
If I do this, if I, work hard and do this, then I'll have the money and then I'll be happy. So it's the do, be, have mentality. What we found has worked is choosing happiness puts the be first.
Yes.
I'm going to be happy. And then from that being, that very essence, you end up doing the things because you're happy. And you'll end up having, whether it's a lifestyle, the holiday, the money, whatever it is, the job, get the gig.
The fulfillment, the contentment.
Yeah.
Like that comes last, but yes, it comes.
Yes, but it comes from the being.
It's got to be flipped.
Yeah.
This whole BS thing's got to be flipped. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, everyone? We're just flipping everything on its head.
Flip your BS!
But yeah, I totally believe that happiness is a choice. That's a big one for me.
Yep.
I've got a tattoo on the side of my ribs that says to choose. And that's because my dad had a tattoo saying the same thing. And that just stands for, no matter the situation, whether you crash a car, whether you lose your job, basically life is life and shit happens.
Yep.
It does. And if it hasn't happened to you yet, it's gonna.
Yep.
It's inevitable. Life is hard. This is what my dad says. Life sucks, then you die.
Yeah, right.
If you're living the mentality of chasing the happiness.
Correct, the happiness is outside.
And one thing as well I want to remind everyone of is that I just had this thought the other day, which is so silly because, when you get these like, oh my God, yeah. It's like, well, duh. That didn't make much sense, but listen.
What was the thought?
Hear me out. You only get to live this one day, one time. You never ever, for the rest of your being on this planet, in this lifetime, will ever have to relive this day. Whether you want to or not, you never get the opportunity.
Yeah.
Does that not sit with you and make you go, oh my God?
So what am I doing with this day?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have it one time.
Yeah.
You only have, like today for us, it's the 7th of June 2022, and
Yeah.
it'll be the last time it is ever, and will ever be the 7th of June 2022.
It also makes that thought. I was just thinking this now. It also makes things that are negative, that are weighing you down, really temporary
Yeah,
because it's only today.
and let me remind you of this. I love, as it's a little bit morbid, but I love talking about the fact that you're going to die one day.
Yeah.
Hectic, right? But like,
Universal truth. It's so weird that human beings can't, or that we have such a big issue around death.
Yeah.
And we're going to dive deep into that as well.
oh, are we going to touch on that? But the death is the only one thing every single person on this planet has in common. Not
Yes.
even person.
Yeah.
Every
living thing will be born into
And
creation
die.
and will end.
Yes, and that is like that makes you go, oh my god, that's so scary to die. But what if it's not? You haven't died yet. So
Yeah.
why not just live this day like it is your last? Because
Yeah.
it could be. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like I've experienced death, and I've experienced people around me who have passed away. But like, mate, oh my gosh, it's hectic when you think about how like this is the 7th of June, and the 8th of June I may never live to see.
Yeah. And then how does that change your being? How does that change what you do?
Because it's a reality. Like
Yeah.
death is so common. It's
Yeah.
it's as much common as life is.
Yeah.
All the people that you see walking down the street,
Yeah.
it's all going to end one day.
100% of all people that have ever lived have died. That's
Have or will.
straight facts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And like it's so easy to forget when you're stuck in this mundane, guinea pig on the bloody circle thing.
Yeah.
What's it called? Ferris wheel thing. I don't know. What is that called?
It's not a Ferris wheel.
Running wheel thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in like just do the things, be happy,
Yes.
do the things, be happy. And then one day you step off and you're like, oh, I could actually die tomorrow and I'll never get to relive this day again. It's like, oh,
And then I haven't done the thing that makes me happy.
no.
You're stuck. If the happiness is outside,
Yeah.
then you're always chasing it. And then if the Ferris wheel ends before,
Why were you here?
why? I feel like, and this is something we've spoken about before.
Mm.
If I was to drop dead tomorrow, I'd die happy.
Oh, same, literally same. Oh, no, legit.
Yeah.
Like it's not even a joke.
Nah.
I'm so happy all
so
of the time.
happy.
And that's not a brag. But I
No.
also want to talk about, okay, this is a big thing. When people brag, if you are listening on the podcast streaming apps, I'm doing, what are these called?
Like quotation fingers.
Quotation
Air
fingers.
Yeah, quotations.
If you brag, that's not a bad thing.
No.
You should be able to express your happiness without someone else trying to bring you down.
Absolutely.
And I want to speak on haters because
Yep.
I think it's ridiculous how people can be affected by haters.
Mhm.
And I'm not trying to say that they don't exist because 100% they exist, and 100% cancel culture is like the thing at the moment.
Yeah.
And I hate that.
Yep.
And I'm here to help you through whether you get hate or whether you get bullied at school or any kind of pressure you're feeling from someone else that isn't you. I'm here to help you through that. Not that I've ever been bullied, but I was lucky enough that I now have the message that I can pass on to people to hopefully inspire them
Yep.
to think differently about haters. Because
Huge, and especially like just to put this out there in terms of the context that we're in now, where everyone is living online. So we've got this whole world where people put so much of their life on social media.
Yes.
And because people are protected, like the keyboard warriors, they don't have to face you and see you, so they can. There's this freedom where humans are saying things that they wouldn't say to your face.
Yeah.
So it's about building resilience. How do you, as a person who has so much of your life and you put so much weight on this device and the life you live there, how do you then respond in a healthy way?
Yes.
What choices do you make
Yes.
when someone comes at you with that? So
Yes.
I want to get into that as well.
yeah, a lot of people are taught if you're being bullied, well, just be resilient and ignore them. That doesn't friggin' work.
What does that mean?
Otherwise, bullying would be solved by now.
Yeah, done. Solved it.
Yeah.
We just solved it.
Yeah.
Guys.
But like it doesn't work that way. So
Yeah.
in one of our episodes, we do definitely want to touch on haters, and we also want to open up, our forums. We have an Instagram page which is Talking Full Stop BS, and I think soon we're going to open up like a little questions poll, and we'd love for you to give us your questions that you'd like us to answer. And
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, like we said, we
100%.
come from completely different backgrounds. We have completely different experiences so far in our lives, and yeah, we might speak to one of you, and we might speak to all of you, and
Yeah. And we also know that, you throwing that question out there may be someone else from a completely different life that has the same question.
Yeah.
So the more we can see and address and air, like the more awareness we can raise of the different BSs,
yes.
the better.
Yes, yes. But yeah, I think that's all we're going to cover today.
Yes.
This is a nice little intro.
Just touching on
yes, touching just
tip of the
literally
iceberg.
the
Tip
surface
of the iceberg stuff. So I hope it gives you a sense of where we're going to go with this
Yes.
and how deep we're going to dive. And
Yeah.
some of this work is going to be confronting.
It
And
will. It will. And people aren't going to like it.
No.
I mean, some people are going to find it too confronting that they're like, oh, this podcast is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it sucks to be you.
But that's what we're here for. Like
Yeah.
we're here for those triggers. We're here
Yeah.
to be triggered. So like we
Yeah.
are as well, because
Yeah.
we know that growth only exists outside your comfort zone. So
Yes.
you're gonna feel uncomfortable.
you
when
need to
grow.
get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Boom.
That is
Yes.
the Sid line.
Yo,
We are Brooke and Sid.
and we're talking BS.
Belief systems, of course. Thoughts create our realities, and we are passionate about creating better thoughts.
Join us as we figure out life from the inside out. Figure out what's holding you back and how to get out of your own way. Come join us as we talk BS.